Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill. The multiverse had rippled with disturbance. The balance of reality was being threatened, not by a natural force or celestial accident, but by the coming together of two of the most powerful beings the universe had ever known. Dr. Manhattan, the embodiment of omniscience, the man who transcended time, was about to face his greatest challenge yet. On the other side, in a far-flung corner of the cosmos, stood True Form Darkseid, the god of tyranny, the ruler of apocalypse, whose existence spanned dimensions. Capable of bending reality itself to his will, the universe had been in peace for eons, with nothing more than the usual chaos from galaxies fighting for dominance, heroes and villains sparring for control, and a slowly creeping order imposed by cosmic forces. Dr. Manhattan had long been above it all, observing the course of history, ensuring that reality flowed the way it was supposed to. He had seen everything, the beginning, the end, and everything in between. But even the all-seeing presence of Manhattan had never truly understood true devastation until now. It began with the sudden disappearance of his connection to the universe, feeling as though something deep in the fabric of reality had been disrupted. His senses, so finely tuned to the subatomic particles of the cosmos, had faltered for the first time in millennia. In that moment, the world around him had begun to shake. The very laws of nature began to lose their coherence. Time itself fractured. Out of the swirling chaos, an ominous presence emerged. It was not just a being. It was a force, a cosmic entity that was older than time itself. A god, Darkseid, had arrived, and with him came the Omega Effect, the power to warp reality, destroy, and conquer. Dr. Manhattan floated in space, gazing upon the desolation, sensing the monumental being that had crossed into his reality. Darkseid's true form, the grotesque, godlike entity that defied space and time, was nothing like the tyrant Manhattan had heard of. This was the dark side of legend, a being beyond comprehension. His very presence was a paradox, a weight that bent reality and altered the very fabric of the universe. Darkseid stood tall, a colossal figure towering over worlds, his eyes glowing with the terrifying power of the Omega beams. The god's voice echoed across the cosmos, like thunder rolling over endless hills. Manhattan, I have come for you. For you represent the last obstacle in my journey to true dominion over the multiverse. Dr. Manhattan's voice, though distant, resonated in the mind of Darkseid. You believe you can conquer all that is, but you are blind to the greater truth. I see the beginning, the middle, and the end. I am everything, and everything is me. Darkseid's laughter reverberated through space. You see only what you wish to see. But even your omniscience cannot prevent what is inevitable. I shall use the anti-life equation to end your existence and claim the multiverse as mine.
Hey you, don't just watch. Subscribe please.
The battle between these two omnipotent beings was inevitable, but what neither could have predicted was the consequences it would have on the fabric of reality itself. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath as the first strike was made. Darkseid's Omega beams shot forward, faster than light, with the devastating intent to erase Dr. Manhattan from existence. But Dr. Manhattan, with his unparalleled awareness of time, saw the beams coming before they even fired. He was already miles away, his body reassembled at a new point in time, having transcended the trajectory of Darkseid's attack. You cannot escape time, Darkseid growled, raising his hand. The Omega beams followed him, shifting to cut through the very fabric of existence. Dr. Manhattan did not flinch. Time is not my enemy, I am time. With a wave of his hand, Dr. Manhattan reached deep into the very core of the universe and altered the atomic structure of the Omega beams. They twisted, losing their destructive charge, and collapsed into nothingness. Darkseid stood unfazed. He had expected this. You believe that you can control time and matter, Darkseid's voice rumbled, but reality is not so malleable. There are forces you cannot comprehend, things beyond your power. Dr. Manhattan's eyes gleamed a glowing blue. You are mistaken. There is nothing beyond my comprehension. I've seen your end. And with that, he shattered the space around them, creating a vacuum in time itself, a realm where the laws of reality could be bent to his will. He existed in this realm, outside of time, where Darkseid could not reach him. But Darkseid had no need for time or space. His will, his cosmic force, permeated all. As Dr. Manhattan manipulated the environment, Darkseid unleashed the full force of the Omega effect, not through his Omega beams, but through the very fabric of the universe. The ground cracked beneath Manhattan's feet, and space itself seemed to bend, warping into a black void. You cannot run from the inevitable, Darkseid's voice echoed from every corner of the universe. My Omega effect is limitless, as is my will. Time will bend to me. Manhattan's eyes narrowed. I will not yield. With an elegant gesture, Dr. Manhattan twisted the threads of space, attempting to collapse Darkseid's reality, folding it like a cosmic origami. He manipulated the atoms of everything Darkseid touched, creating a field of instability. Darkseid, however, resisted. His being was not bound by conventional laws of nature. He was the anti-life incarnate, a god whose power surpassed even the manipulations of matter. The void around them quivered as Darkseid's fist came crashing down, not on Manhattan, but on reality itself. With a single strike, he shattered the very foundation of time. The Omega effect surged outward, a tidal wave of energy, ripping apart dimensions, realities, and futures. Dr. Manhattan had no time to react. For the first time in what seemed like an eternity, Manhattan felt fear, a fleeting moment, an emotion so alien to his detached existence. He was not just fighting a being of immense power. He was facing the force of inevitability. Darkseid's power was not bound by the rules of the universe. It was beyond even the comprehension of Dr. Manhattan. In an instant, Dr. Manhattan felt himself being pulled into the heart of the Omega effect. He could feel the boundaries of his existence unraveling, but he was not one to succumb easily. He manipulated his essence, breaking himself apart and reassembling in different timelines, different moments in time. I have seen this moment before, Darkseid, Dr. Manhattan whispered, his voice cutting through the chaos. And this battle will be decided by forces beyond either of us. Darkseid's eyes narrowed as he focused his Omega beams on Manhattan's reformed body. But as the beams connected, Manhattan dissolved into a cloud of subatomic particles, shifting and reappearing elsewhere. It was a battle of will, of essence versus force, of order versus chaos. You cannot outrun me forever, Darkseid boomed. Dr. Manhattan's presence filled the cosmos. Perhaps, but I can delay the inevitable. I will force you to see beyond your own eyes, beyond your own will. You are not a god, Darkseid. You are just another force in the universe, and I am the universe. The collision of their wills had only just begun. The universe itself trembled, caught in the balance of cosmic forces far greater than either combatant alone. It was a battle for the very existence of reality itself, one where the outcome was anything but certain. As the universe around them quivered, the war of infinity and power had only begun. The void between dimensions was a place where even time itself was hesitant to flow. Here, reality was not defined by what could or could not exist. For a brief moment, there was only Dr. Manhattan and Darkseid, their powers a collision of cosmic wills, shifting and distorting the very nature of the universe. Darkseid's rage echoed across the cosmos as the Omega beams failed to connect with Dr. Manhattan once more. The god of tyranny stood, his immense form swirling with cosmic energy as he watched Manhattan shift effortlessly through time and space, his body and consciousness unraveling only to reassemble at an impossible angle. No matter where he appeared, no matter what part of reality Darkseid targeted, Dr. Manhattan was already somewhere else.
Hey you, don't just watch. Subscribe please.
You cannot run from me forever, Manhattan, Darkseid thundered. You are trapped in this battle, and I will destroy everything you are, every dimension you hide in, every timeline you manipulate. There is no escape. Dr. Manhattan's calm voice pierced through the chaos. Escape? There is no need. You think you are a force of nature, Darkseid, but you are only a consequence of it, a part of the cycle, an echo of destruction. I see the beginning, the middle, and the end of all things. Darkseid's eyes blazed with fury as he stretched out his hand, unleashing another wave of Omega energy, but this time, it was different. Darkseid understood Manhattan's tricks now. The Omega effect was not just destructive. It could alter the very fabric of time itself. With a single motion, he twisted the flow of time, sending Manhattan's particles into a fractured loop where he could not escape. But Dr. Manhattan was prepared. His understanding of the universe was absolute, and in that moment, he did not fight Darkseid's manipulation of time. He embraced it. Time is irrelevant, Dr. Manhattan whispered, his form flickering in and out of existence. It has always been irrelevant. With a thought, Dr. Manhattan synchronized his essence with the flow of Darkseid's Omega effect, allowing himself to be swept into the tides of destruction. The universe around them shimmered, reality stretching thin as the laws of physics bent under the pressure of their battle. Yet as the Omega effect surged toward him, Dr. Manhattan did something that no one had ever anticipated. He folded it. He wasn't just manipulating matter or energy anymore. He was manipulating the very cause of the Omega effect. The powerful surge of energy that had once destroyed everything it touched now bent to Dr. Manhattan's will. He redirected it, not against Darkseid, but back into the very source of its power, the god himself. Darkseid roared in fury as the Omega energy turned against him, consuming him in a torrent of his own creation. But Darkseid was no ordinary god. With an explosive surge of force, he broke free, his form momentarily shuddering but quickly regenerating. He glared at Dr. Manhattan, the god of tyranny now angrier than ever. You think you can turn my power against me? Darkseid snarled. You are a fool, Manhattan. There is nothing you can do to stop me. I will remake this universe in my image. Dr. Manhattan stared at him, unwavering. You cannot remake what you do not understand, Darkseid, and you do not understand the true nature of this battle. You are not fighting me. You are fighting yourself. The truth hung in the air like a heavy cloud. Darkseid had been too focused on raw power, on domination, on destruction. But Dr. Manhattan was a force of creation, understanding, and inevitability. He was not just manipulating matter or energy. He was unraveling the very concept of conflict itself. In that moment, Dr. Manhattan's blue glow intensified, and the universe trembled as he drew upon the very core of existence. He reached out into the infinity of time and space, connecting every moment, every timeline, every parallel universe where Darkseid's influence had ever reached. He was not just manipulating reality here and now, he was influencing all of time. You speak of destiny, Dr. Manhattan said softly, his voice resonating across eons. But destiny is a construct. It is a series of decisions, choices, and consequences that can be altered. You have no power over what is to come, Darkseid. The future belongs to those who understand it, not to those who seek to control it. And with that, Dr. Manhattan pulled back the veil of the universe itself. The very laws of physics, of creation, bent to his will. The timeline shattered and reformed as Dr. Manhattan created a singularity of his own design, a black hole of pure energy that would collapse everything into a single point of utter nothingness. Darkseid tried to resist. He summoned the full power of the Omega effect, but the fabric of reality was already slipping through his fingers. Every time he attempted to unleash the Omega beams, they disintegrated in the presence of Dr. Manhattan's will. His mind, too, began to slip as the realization of his own limitations gripped him. "You cannot fight this, Darkseid," Dr. Manhattan continued, his voice unwavering as the god of tyranny tried to resist. "This is not a battle of power. It is a battle of understanding. You are but a fragment of the universe, an echo of chaos. I am the universe, and I will not be stopped." Darkseid's form flickered for a moment. His eyes, usually burning with hatred, now showed a fleeting moment of doubt. He had spent centuries, millennia, trying to impose order on the universe, to make it bow to his will. But here, in the presence of Dr. Manhattan, it was clear that there was something greater than even him, a force of pure inevitability, a force that could shape reality as easily as Darkseid could destroy it. With a final thunderous roar, Darkseid released his full Omega power in a last-ditch effort to obliterate everything in his path. But the force was absorbed by Dr. Manhattan's energy field, transformed into pure light that shot out across the cosmos, enveloping Darkseid in its intensity. In an instant, the universe held its breath. Darkseid's form began to collapse, his essence unraveling like a thread pulled from the fabric of reality. His godlike presence was nothing against the unstoppable force of Dr. Manhattan's will. The god of tyranny had been undone, not by brute strength, but by the one thing Darkseid had never fully understood, the inevitability of change. Darkseid's voice faded, his once powerful presence reduced to a whisper of defiance. "You cannot kill me?" Dr. Manhattan's eyes glowed, his calm expression unwavering. "I do not need to kill you, Darkseid. I simply need to let you see the truth." With a final wave of his hand, Darkseid was no more. His form dissolved into the very energy that had once been his strength, scattered across the multiverse. Dr. Manhattan stood alone, his mind shifting through the layers of existence, watching the echo of the battle fade into history. The universe was still. The war for domination had ended, but the cost was great. Dr. Manhattan had won, not by overpowering his foe, but by showing him the deeper truth, that even the greatest force in the universe could be rendered insignificant in the face of true understanding. And as the universe began to heal, Dr. Manhattan's voice echoed across the cosmos, a quiet reminder to all who would seek to dominate. Time is not a weapon, it is the foundation upon which everything stands, and I am its keeper. The battle was over, and in the aftermath, there was only one certainty left: the universe would continue.